Good morning, fabulous fourth grade. Today is May 1st, 2020, and it is a fantastic Friday. We are going to continue with online instruction in our virtual classroom. I am going to share the screen. All right, again, good morning, fabulous fourth grade leaders. Today we are going to continue learning about interdependence. Interdependence is the relationship between two or more living things where each one benefits from the other. Our learning goal, repeat after me. I can explain why an organism is able to survive in its environment. Again, I can explain why an organism is able to survive in its environment. So we have been talking about the different organisms and their roles in their environments. Any one organism, when you have more than that one organism, it is a population. Anytime you have more than two populations, it's a community, and then a collection of populations and all of the non-living things that the populations interact with or the communities interact with is an ecosystem. Again, last week we learned about the different trophic levels in an ecosystem and what kind of organisms are at each level. This week, we're going to still learn more about their roles and their niches in an ecosystem. Earlier this week, we also investigated how food chains and food webs are different, and also the components of symbiotic relationships. The components were the mutualistic relationship, which is mutualism, and mutualism is where both organisms benefit in the relationship. We talked about the gazelle and the ostrich, how both of them benefit with their vision, and they also alert each other of predators that are in the vicinity. We talked about commensalism, and commensalism is a relationship in which one organism benefits and the other organism is not hurt nor harmed, and they also don't really benefit. An example of commensalism was the shark and the remora fish. So the remora fish attaches itself to the shark or swims close to the shark. Typically, they attach themselves with the suction tubes on their head or their bodies. And then as the shark hunts, because the shark is a predator, it's also an apex predator of the aquatic biomes. And so when the shark hunts, whatever little scraps or piece of meat are fall off from the shark eating its prey, the remora fish began to scavenge. And so I like to refer to the remora fish as a scavenger because they don't necessarily hunt live prey. They eat scraps from the shark. And then the last relationship was parasitism. And we compared parasitism with the coronavirus, with what was going on today in our country, in our world. All right, and so then today we're going to continue learning about adaptations that allow organisms to survive in their environment. All right, so what is an adaptation? Adaptation in biology is the process by which a species becomes fitted to its environment. Adaptations allow the various organisms and ecosystems to thrive, also to live, to survive. But how? All right, so our essential question is, how do adaptations like hibernation and camouflage help organisms in their environments? So we're going to continue with that investigation in Google Classroom. We always do our lessons in Google Classroom. You will be directed, when you click the link in Class Dojo, the link will take you directly to your classroom where you will see all of the resources that you will need for today's lesson. And I just walk you through the lesson with the video. Okay, so once you get into your classroom, you're going to click the classwork tab. And from there, you'll look for today's topic, interdependence. And then from there, you'll scroll down and you'll look for today's date. The same thing is in Chicago, classwork tab. Interdependent. I'm going to scroll down a little bit because it's Friday. And oh, I didn't move it down. And look for today's date. I'll move that. As a matter of fact, I will go and move that down now. Friday. There we go. And then the same thing for ND, Notre Dame. Classwork tab and interdependence and Friday. All right. And so I'm going to go on and click in Notre Dame. Go to the instructions if you're not directly taken to the instructions. And then from there, we'll start with our FAB vocab. Look for the FAB vocab. Okay, and then I'm going to practice our FAB vocab. All right, so the first word is predator. I did add a couple of terms to the folder simply because they coincided with what we were talking about this week. So our first word is predator. And a predator is an organism that eats other organisms in order to live. The organisms that they eat are prey. They're the organism that gets eaten. This picture is hilarious. Just all right. And so our next term is a biotic factor. A biotic factor is all the living factors or all the living things, organisms in an ecosystem. If it's alive, it's an organism. So it can either be a plant, an animal, or bacteria, fungus, or protista, like a virus or a protozoan. And then these are the non-living things. Non-living things are called abiotic factors. They're the non-living parts of an ecosystem, such as the soil, the climate, and the rainfall. So the amount of sunlight that an area gets, the climate, the type of water, the phase of the water. So is it a lot of ice? Is the water kind of cool, slushy? Is it just the liquid state of matter? How much sunlight an area gets? If it's really, really windy, what type of trees are in that area? What type of trees are in that area? All right, and so then the habitat. A habitat is the physical place where an organism lives. And so we say our habitat is our home, but animals' habitat would be, it could be maybe up in the tree. It could be in a hole burrowed. It could actually be inside of a log. So wherever the animal feels safest is its home, its habitat. A niche is the job or the role of an organism in a community. The niche of a lot of apex predators is to keep a balance between the number of organisms in that particular ecosystem. Now, when there is an overgrowth of a certain organism because of we'll say supply and demand, the organism species may begin to die out. Like we were talking about the 2K geckos, but let's move on. The next is the ecosystem. It is all the living and non-living things in an environment. And then a producer or an autotroph is an organism that can make its own food through the process of photosynthesis. Okay. And then a heterotroph or a consumer is an organism that consumes or eats living producers and or other consumers for food. And these are all consumers. There's the primary, secondary, and the tertiary. There's a fourth level of consumers, but we don't necessarily talk about them in the fourth grade. We talk about them, I believe, in the sixth grade. Our next word is symbiosis, and a symbiosis is just a relationship in which two different organisms live in close association with each other. And so these organisms are living on his back. And he says, what you looking at? All right. The next term is mutualism. It's also a symbiotic relationship between two species in which both of them benefit. These two organisms, the gazelle and the ostrich, have a symbiotic relationship. We have a symbiotic relationship with the plants, and we also have a symbiotic relationship. I say it's a symbiotic relationship with our pets because we get love from our pets. But anyway, it's really not a symbiotic relationship. We just love them. Our next term is commensalism. Commensalism is a relationship between two organisms in which one organism benefits and the other is unaffected. And that goes back to the shark and the remora relationship. I see another form of commensalism would be like a owl living inside of the hollow of a tree, a bird's nest. Now, another form of commensalism could be like, some people say that the clownfish living with the amoeba is commensalism, but I really feel like it's a mutualistic relationship because when predators try to eat the clownfish, they get shocked by the amoeba, and then the clownfish itself actually clean, and I think they eat off of the amoeba. So I think that's a mutualistic relationship. All right, parasitism or parasitism. It's a relationship in which one organism lives on or in a host and harms it. And so this would be an example of the coronavirus, COVID-19, because it harms the person that is within the host. Also, another example could be fleas and a dog. When fleas bite a dog or a cat, they're drinking their blood. And then mosquitoes. So anything that bites a person, like a flea, a tick, a mosquito, the organism that it bites is the host, and it is the parasite. Anything that lives within another organism is a parasite as well. So like when you catch the common cold or the flu, that virus that causes the cold, or it's actually two viruses that cause the cold, and then there's I think it's the rhinovirus, and then it's not the coronavirus, it's like the carnovirus or something. And then there's the flu, and there's like 4 or 5 different strands of the flu. All of those are parasites. All right, adaptation. Adaptation, these are the words that I added. It's a characteristic that improves an individual's ability to survive and reproduce in a particular area. So there are different types of adaptations that an organism could have. This adaptation allows this organism to blend in with the leaves. See that leaf in the background? It looks similar to the organism. And so the predator would not necessarily know that that's what it is. They would think, oh, it's just another leaf, until it blinks or breathes. And then it's a snack. All right, camouflage. So camouflage is the act of concealing the identity of something by modifying its appearance. So a lot of frogs, a lot of salamanders, even geckos and lizards like to live in areas that they can camouflage themselves in so that they won't look like an obvious snack to a predator. And mimicry. Mimicry is the ability of an animal to look like another more harmful animal. This is not an owl. This is not an owl. Right, it's a butterfly. However, I'm not going to mess with that because you look like a whole owl. And an owl is a predator. It is actually an apex predator in some forest biomes or ecosystems. The next is hibernation. So it is a period of inactivity that some animals experience in winter that allows them to survive on stored body fat. Okay. We experience a very small hibernation. When you wake up in the wintertime, you don't want to get out of the bed and you just want to lay there after you ate. And you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to lay here. And you actually might lose weight, but then some of us, we don't. We just gain weight over the wintertime. Animals go through the same thing. And their bodies actually slow down. They don't do as much, so they don't burn as much energy. They sleep. And mainly because food is not widely available. And so they live off of their fat. It's almost like animals put themselves through a state of ketosis, where their body burns fat for energy. All right, migration. Ooh, I love migration, especially when I look out and see migration. So it's a movement from one country or region to another. Birds, fish, sometimes many herbivores. Oh my goodness, many herbivores migrate. And it's crazy because I noticed that with butterflies migrate, but butterflies have a very short lifespan. So that, once they go through their metamorphosis from a caterpillar to becoming a butterfly, and they go through the metamorphosis, and then they live, it depends, I think the monarch butterfly lives for like 8 months, but they live for a short period of time, but they migrate to the land that their ancestors migrated to. No one tells them this. It's not like, a spirit butterfly comes to them and say, I need you to go here to get food and to have children and then come back if you can. That doesn't happen. It's like they have this inherited trait that tells them that they need to migrate. And so, but those are our fab vocab. Once you do the fab vocab, I want you to play the game. See if I can beat my best score. I don't know. I'll try though. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's see. This is a predator. They're a role, a producer, abiotic is non-living, symbiosis. Where's the other one? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It says just one more time to try to see if you can beat you. I'll do it today. Jay Athena is second place. I'm not sure who X-Man 194 is. Send me a message and let me know who you are so that I can give you a shout out. And Sanai is fourth place. Miss Davis, I play this game. I tell y'all, like, if I assign you something, then I'm gonna play it as well to see if I find it, because if Miss Davis finds it nice and engaging and kind of fun, then maybe you will as well. All right, so let's play it one more time. See if Miss Davis can beat her best score one more time. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know. Let's see. All right, that is a niche. This is hibernation, habitat, ecosystem, biotic, and commensalism. Oh, not quite. That's okay. I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So play it 2 times. And then after you play it 2 times, go back to the classroom. And you can play it multiple times. But I encourage you to only play it 2 times. Come back to it if you finish your other work. And then you can also play the gravity game. Oh, the gravity game is fun. I don't have the chill for the gravity game. So when we play the gravity game, and I'll only do it like 1 time just because it takes so long to play it. And then every time you move forward, you go to the next level. So I'm going to play medium, watch out for the red asteroids, and then start the game. All right, so, and you have to be like 100 on spelling, right? So living factors, biotic factors. All right. Oh, I said that. Biotic factor. Okay. All right. The position. Oh, that's a niche. So you keep typing and you try not to let it get to the bottom. Let me see if I can let something get to the bottom. I know this one. This is a camera. No, I'm gonna let it get to the bottom. So you'll see what happens. So if you let it go all the way down to the bottom, and I know what it is, but I just want to wait. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. And it's almost there. Look, the coronavirus. Okay, see, and it'll show you the correct answer, and then you type CAMOUFLAGE. And then now you go to the next one. This is parasitism. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna stop there because it'll level. Ooh, I told the non-truth. Mutualism. All right, and then, oh, this is symbiosis, biosis. I think I spelled it right. Okay. And then I think I get one more, and then I'll level up to the next level. Things in environment, all the living. Oh, that's an ecosystem. Ecosystem. I left out the S. TEM. Did I say that right? I think I did it right. No, I didn't. Ecosystem. Okay. And now I'm on level 2. All right. But I'm not going to continue to play because you can play the gravity game. You just have to be correct with your spelling. And if not, then it kind of defeats the entire purpose of the game. So it is great because it'll allow you to work on that spelling. So after we do that, you're going to watch a video. The video is not long. It's like 4 minutes long. I'm not going to play the video because I heard in the last recording, it was really not, it's not a comfortable sound. And so you can click the link and you can play the video. Afterwards, you have your thinking questions, which is Adaptations Friday. You only have 2 thinking questions, and they're just based off of the video. One is if I watch the video, I know the answer, but the other one is a thinking question, and you just tell me, why is migration important to the survival of animals? Once you're finished answering the thinking questions, here where it says share, it'll say turn in, and you're just going to turn in. That lets me know that you've answered the thinking question, and then Ms. Davis will give you 10 points just for turning in, because that you had to have watched the video, which should be 5, and then you had to have answered the questions and click turn in, which is another 5. So I'm going to give you 10 points for that. When you do the Quizlet, that's 5 points for the vocabulary. And then next is the ReadWorks, and the ReadWorks is Deep Sea Detectives. It's a short passage. It's not really, really long. Once you finish with that, again, I think it's 8 questions. See, it's like a short passage. It's not long, but it's like 8 questions. Answer your questions, 2 written questions, and then at the bottom, there will be a gray submit button. Submit it. And that's 10 points because you have to read and you have to answer questions based off of what you read. From there, go back to the classroom, and then Legends of Learning. Legends of Learning, you're going to click the link, and then you're going to sign in as a student. Student teacher login up here at the top. Then after you click that, you already have an account. So students play now. Purple login. So click students play now, and then the purple login, and waiting. I'm still waiting. Oh, play teacher playlist. DABIST217. There. All right. It happens in class too, right? Purple login, right? Log in, and from here, log in with your Google account because everyone already has an account. You don't have to create a new account. From there, I'm just gonna choose. Oh no, not that account. Let's try it again. I'm gonna choose the top account. All right, and we are going to, I took off one of them. I left the scientific method. We're gonna do cycles of matter energy transfer in ecosystems. I'm gonna let it load up. It takes a few minutes for it to load, but then once it finally loads, then you could just, all right. So it's real easy. I think this next one is, I can't remember which one is next. I moved 2 around. Let's wait and see. It's taken a while. So, well, it's not that much longer, but I do need to move forward. So you can do the Legends of Learning on your own and sign in, play the games, rock it out like rock stars. All right, so that's it. That is it. Study your fab vocab, watch the YouTube video, complete the thinking questions, complete the read works, and then do the Legends of Learning with my username, my playlist code. So if you have any questions or you need help with anything, please feel free to reach out to your teachers. We are available to you guys from 9 to 3 o'clock every day. Also, make sure that you're completing your Compass Learning and your Zearn. And then finally, if you have any questions, you can message us on Dojo, you can send us an email, or you can message in Google Classroom. If you do message in Google Classroom, make sure that you leave your message up under the topic for the day. All right, so wash those hands, practice good hygiene, still practice social distancing. Things are opening back up. However, we still want you guys to stay safe. All right, that's it. Have a wonderful day, promise. Bye.